Good morning, everybody. Happy Sneaky Peek Day for My Creative Time's 156th edition release. Oh my goodness, everybody's going to have so many fun things to share with you today. I hope you'll hop around to all the channels. I'm going to try and link all the information in my drop-down menu where it says more. Just click on the word more and it'll take you into the drop-down menu. But let's go ahead and dive in. Just a reminder that the release is Thursday, October 23rd at 8 a.m. is when it starts. It ends Friday night, October 24th at midnight. You can use any one of our discount codes for 15% off your purchases. My, of course, is Jill, Jill, all caps, but any one of the design team's first names will work. And of course, refer back to Emma's channel for My Creative Time for all of the release information. Emma is the one that is the best channel to go to for everything that's happening with My Creative Time. She is, of course, the CEO of My Creative Time, the wonderful person behind all of these beautiful products, her and her family. So a big thank you to them as we dive into this beautiful, beautiful release for October 2025. So let's start by going to the ephemera. Okay, I'm going to show you the packaging so you know what the ephemera is called. It's the Frosty Friends ephemera, MCT EPH09. So My Creative Time ephemera number 9. Okay, so Frosty Friends is the theme this month. And what I did was I just laid all of the ephemera out on this board so that you could kind of see them. Now you're missing one of the sentiments is Merry Christmas, and I used it all up, but I tried not to use everything of any particular one so that I could show them all to you. This is an adorable hot cocoa with a little candy cane, a tree, and a snowman in it. There's all these little cute little birds. Aren't they adorable? And they're facing both directions. So you've got these little birds. You have these cute little owls. I hope you can see those. You have the sentiment, Hello Winter. And then you can see all the cute snowmen. There's a total of 6 different snowmen. And this one says Merry Christmas. This one has the word Merry up on its hat, and it's holding a tree and a wreath. This one over here has the word hope, and the hope is on a star, and I just love that one. You know how much I love that word hope. And then we have this one with the candy cane and the little gingham scarf on. This one's holding a little birdhouse and wearing a cute little Santa hat. And then this one's carrying a little reindeer, and it's a little child snowman. I just love that one. We have the sentiment, 'Tis the Season. We have these little Santa packs, if you will. Here's another little owl over here, which is the same as these two over here. There's these little candies, lollipops in the swirls, little packages. There's green and gray packages with red and gold ribbons. And then you have the reindeer facing 2 different directions. And I have a beautiful set of tags that I made with these. You have the sentiment Holly Jolly, and then also Winter Wishes. And then the sentiment again that says Merry Christmas that I've already used up. But such a beautiful set of ephemera. And these snowmen are just precious, precious images. So cute. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing them all laid out like this. And again, the name of it is the Frosty Friends ephemera, and it's MCT EPH09 is the item number. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside, and I will have projects using the ephemera to show you. And I'm going to dive in and start showing you the products that we're releasing, okay? So first is the paper pad. This is the Snowflake Wishes 2025 paper pad. It has a beautiful piece of paper, one that has holly and writing more prevalent, and one where it's less prevalent with just some pine sprigs. And then you have all of these snowflake papers with a white background or a colored background. And these, I don't know about you, but I use snowflake papers a lot during the winter time. They're good for Christmas, but also all sorts of winter projects. And it's so fun to have all of these different colors. Certainly this gray or silver looks so good when you add silver foil or silver glitter cardstock. But you have the brown, the green, the kind of burgundy red, as well as the gold. And then you have these 2 other papers for more earth tone projects. So just a beautiful pad of paper. That's the new paper for this release. And then I love this set. This is the Frosty Kisses Stamps and Dies. I'm going to pull it out so you can see it better. We have Happy Christmas from Our Family to Yours, Warm Wishes and Frosty Kisses, Happy Birthday, Warm and fuzzy hugs, snow much love coming your way, wishing you snow much joy, love you, winter cheer, missing you, thinking of you this holiday season, you melt my heart, let it snow, and thanks snow much. So it's just a beautiful set, and it has coordinating dies so that you end up with these little sentiments all cut out and ready to add to your projects. So I just stamped them, cut them all out, and then I put them in a little baggie in the back here so they'd be all ready to use. So that's a really fun way to use them. So that is, again, it's called the Frosty Kisses Stamps and Dies, and it's MCT 442. Okay, MCT 442. Then we have the trio of cute bow dies, as well as the cute bow die that is a little bit bigger. And these are so much fun. Oh my gosh, I had fun playing with these. So I'm just going to show you size-wise. Let's see, this is actually the big one. This goes here. And this one, I think, is this one here. So just so you can kind of get an idea. The one I used the most was this smallest one and the medium one. But these bigger ones are great for the boxes. And I used the biggest size, which is this one here, the cute bow die, on my box closures, which I'm going to show you later today, or later in this video. But just to get an idea, these are such a cute bow die, and I'm using one of the snowflake dies I'm going to show you in a moment as a little, oh, excuse me, as a little decoration. For the center of the bow. So it does come with a little piece for the center of the bow, but then you can also, of course, just top it with anything you'd like. So this shows you what it's like with just a snowflake center. So, but look at how cute they look cut out of the foil too. It's so fun. So those are the cute bow dies, the trio of cute bow dies, and then the cute bow die. Okay, so you've got a total of 4 sizes if you're interested. And if you're one of the many people who just loves bows, there's so much fun to add to all your projects in different ways. And I especially like tiny things, so I always gravitate to that. But having those big bows is a lot of fun, especially at Christmas time when you're trying to do package toppers, or maybe you're giving a little gift and you just need something to decorate the top of it. So these are so fun to have. So those are just some samples. So those are the bow dies. And then we have another belly band die, and this is the snowflake belly band die. And this one is so pretty. I cut it out so I could show you what it looks like all cut out. And I love the impression that you get in that belly band of the snowflakes. It's so, so pretty. So these are a lot of fun. You've seen when we did the gingerbread belly band on the last release that you can cut along here and use these as edges on some of your tags. You can use it as a belly band with the coordinating card die that we released last month. Did I bring that over? I think I have it here somewhere. But anyway, it coordinates with the card dies, and really any card that you want to close with the belly band, you could definitely use this and cut it to the size that you need. So if you were doing, for example, one of the cute card dies, which is a tall, thin card, you could definitely use this if you wanted to by just cutting the end and making it thinner if you needed it. But I just love these little embossed snowflakes. They're so pretty. So that is the snowflake belly band die. And, you know, we have all the other belly band dies available too, including the doily one and the gingerbread ones. So just lots and lots of fun to add that. And then this is probably my favorite die set this month. This is the Snowflake Dies, MCT October 2025's release of these beautiful snowflake dies. I just love snowflake dies, so I'm very partial to them. But I'm going to show you really quick just one example of what you can do with these. It's 4 coordinating dies. They each have a backer as well as a snowflake size to them. And if this is what the backers look like, you can back the snowflake. And what I've done is just created an ornament with them by layering up the snowflakes and gluing them together, and then also using my hand to pull up and shape them. And it creates such a nice airy effect when you don't put a backer on each one. But I'm going to show you all sorts of different ways you can put these together different looks you can get depending on how you layer them over the next 2 days. But I just love how this looks, and it looks so cute with the little button there and a little twine tie. And then you can add one of those sweet sentiments from the stamp set. So this one says, "So much love coming your way." I used a little wood button on the back to hold this tie in place, and then I tied off a little wooden bead just so that this could hang on the tree, and then it has a little button at the center. So these are so much fun, but I've done so many different things with them, and I can't wait to play with this set more. Emma did a beautiful job designing it. The intricacy of this die set is so pretty. I love how it cuts out and the effect you get by layering them. So such a beautiful die set. Then we move on to the Snowflake doily dies, and we did the gingerbread doily dies last month. These are the Snowflake ones, and oh my goodness, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So this largest die, I'm going to take these out so we can look at them. Let me go ahead and pull them out. So each one of these has a backer, and I haven't cut the backers out. I just wanted you to see the detail on the Snowflake doily die. So this is this piece cut out. And what's neat is these little snowflakes can be used as on your projects to decorate your projects and also as centers. So I've used these in my cards, on the inside of my cards for decorations. I use this a whole bunch. I love this die. And then the outer piece, of course, allows you to put a colored die cut behind here so that you get the colored effect of the snowflakes on the outside. So just a wonderful die set. Here it is cut out of the silver snowflake paper. And on the two smaller sizes, you get, instead of a cutout, you get an impression of that snowflake into the die cut. So, and this one I used on the back of a lot of my cards as a label. And this size is great for putting little half doilies on your card. So is this. So I have lots of projects to show you where I use these. This is a wonderful die set. I just love the snowflake impression as well as the snowflake cutout, depending on the size of the doily that you use. But just a great, great set. And then the last die set that Emma is offering this month is this square box die. And this one has two wonderful square die cuts to use to line the box sides, and this little triangle stitched cut to line the top of the box. And the box folds together. You just use two of the die cuts, and then each of the little layers, whatever layers you want to add to the box once you have it all put together. And it's really easy to put together, and it is such a fun box. I can't wait to show that to you. And so I'm going to go through and just show you, in addition to the paper pad that we're releasing this month, which is this one here. So this is the release for this month, the Snowflake Wishes 2025, which is all those beautiful snowflake papers, plus these beautiful earth-toned ones with the text and greenery. I also used the Festive Holidays from last month, so Festive Holidays 2025. I used Rustic Christmas 2025 on one of the boxes. I'll show you either today or tomorrow. I think it's today. So I think I used this paper, this gingerbread paper, but I love this cookie paper. Would be so fun to make a box and then maybe put a couple ginger snaps in it or something. And then I also use this paper pad, which is just back in stock. This is hot chocolate season. This is probably my #1 favorite paper pad that Emma has ever done, because I love this hot chocolate paper, and I also love the gingham. And I just think this is one of those ones that you can use all Christmas and winter long, through all the winter months, the cooler months, especially for any hot coffee or hot chocolate projects. So this one is back in stock, but I also used all of these on my projects. So I'm going to set all this aside and bring my projects in to share with you for today. And just a reminder that I'll have more projects to share on release day. So I'm going to bring this in and we'll just go through things one at a time. So I think I already showed you this. This is the little Jingle All the Way stamp and die set that makes this cute little spatula. And I pulled this out just to play with the little bow die because I knew it would be the perfect size to add to these ornaments. So I just cut 3 of them out. I stamped a sentiment. I added a little tie to the back with hot glue. And I did use the back sides of the papers on the back of the spatulas. And then I added the little bow die. So doesn't that look cute? So you can make these ornaments to give as Christmas gifts. So that was one of my projects. And then I'm going to show you this, when you're going to put this box together, what I did was I just added a little bit of sticky tape, and I would recommend glue dots. I could not find my glue dots today. But if you take just a little glue dot and put a glue dot at each end of the handle, it will hold the box top closed. And then you can use whatever you want on the box to decorate it. So I used the large bow die. So this is the cute bow die in the largest size, so the one that's sold separately. That's what's on the front of this box. It's the perfect size for the closure. And then I use the 2 smaller snowflakes on the bow. And you can go and just use your finger. I doubled these up, so it's a total of 4 snowflakes. 2 of them are glued together. And you can just pop up the center one by bending up the tips if you want, okay? Or you can leave it flat, however you want to do it. But I tend to always want to zhuzh things up and pop them up a little bit. And I've got some glue on there I need to get rid of. But you can also just leave them flat. It's up to you. You can play around with that. Here's how that beautiful snowflake detail looks. The Happy Christmas from our family to yours is one of the sentiments from the stamp set. And you can see how that beautiful red foil background piece looks when you layer it with the actual snowflake doily die. And here's that beautiful paper from the paper pad with the little gingerbreads. And I did use the little corner layering pieces and the little square pieces all around the box. And then you could put a second bow on the back if you want. I chose not to do that. I just kept it simple. And you just can, again, use a glue dot, open this up. And what's nice is this is big enough to fit an ornament inside. So inside the box, I have this cute ornament that I created. I used some old paper that I had from a pad of, actually from a cardstock delivery. And I used some of that cardboard and used it for a backer. And then I just layered up the snowflakes, glued them together, and then popped them up in the center here so that it looks really airy and pretty, and made a little ornament. You can see the button there. And then I tied it off at the end with a little heart tag from the Tiny Tag die set and this Warm Wishes and Frosty Kisses sentiment. So just a little ornament, and it fits perfect inside the box, okay? Here's another example of the snowflakes with glitter foam in between each layer. And I thought you guys might like to see what that looks like also. And I haven't added a tie to this, but you could make a second backer and then hot glue a tie either in between or even to the back if you wanted, and have your tie come up for an ornament. But I thought I would just show you what it looks like with foam versus just using paper. Okay, so this one has foam layers, if you will, and then this one is just paper layers, and I've propped up the paper layers. I've got glue residual on some of these. I need to get it off of there. All right. So on this one, I actually did it 2-sided, and it has the ribbon glued in between the 2 halves of the snowflake. And then what I did was I'm gluing them down opposite. So you start with the tips at the top, then you go tips to the side, tips to the top, tips to the side. And then I just use my fingers to prop these up. So you're just taking the tips of each one and you're pulling them forward, and you get this beautiful dimension on the snowflake. And then you're gluing it back to back so you have a 2-sided ornament. And that again is all made with paper versus this one that's made with foam. And you can see the different look you get from that. You could also use glitter cardstock and see what that layer's like with white. So that's the next thing I want to try. But I love how these turn out. These snowflakes are gorgeous, and I love creating ornaments with them. So I did create a couple more for you, and I'll show you those. I was going for very, you know me, I love homespun. So these ones have rustic, the rustic craft cardstock and white cardstock, little buttons with twine ties, and then the Let It Snow sentiment from the new stamp set, die cut with the dies that coordinate. And then these are the square tag dies from Emma's die sets. So she has these square tag die sets, and that's one of the square tag dies. But I love how these look. Now on this one, I lined up the tips straight each time. So the fluted tip, if you will, and these little teardrop tips are all lined up. And again, you can pull the tips forward and make this as airy and popped up as you want. I did glue at least 2 to 3 layers together of the paper to get this dimension. And then I did a backer on the back. And again, mine has got glue on it. I need to clean up with my eraser, with my sand eraser. But I just added a twine tie and a twine bow, and I just kept it really simple and homespun. These are so cute, and I did this one in white and craft, and then this one is in cream and craft. And this one also has the Let It Snow sentiment. So, and you can see the dimension and how cute it is. Now on this one, I'll show you the difference. This one, the edges are lined up straight, and on this one I alternated the fluted edges. So you can get 2 different looks with your snowflakes. So I'll show you those. You get 2 different looks. This one, they're lined up straight, and this one, they're alternated. Okay? So just really sweet homespun snowflake ornaments. These make a really sweet gift, I think, to give to someone, especially maybe someone who doesn't have a lot of ornaments for their tree. I just think these would be so cute with a whole bunch of these snowflakes on your Christmas tree. So those are the snowflakes. Let's see. I also did this little star box. This is the star die. This is the star pillow box die. And I think there's a couple of these available in the store, but I know a lot of you have this. So I just thought I'd show you how cute it looks. I took the snowflakes, cut them out of a panel, and then I used the panel that I'd cut them out of to just stencil through the snowflakes onto the box. So the Starbucks has stenciled snowflakes on it, and then I added this 2 of the snowflake sizes to make this Wishing You Snow Much Joy emblem for the top. And I colored in the Wishing You Snow Much Joy with a red marker, all the little hearts and O's that are on the sentiment. And I used my eyelet setter to put a hole through the top of the Starbucks. This one I just tied through with twine. And then I used little stickers to glue down the sides of the box. And then you can open up the box all the way by just undoing the stickers. And inside, I hid an ornament. So this would look so cute on a tree or as a gift to give to someone. And you could certainly put candy or, you know, whatever you wanted to put inside this little box. It's just so much fun. Let me close this back up really quick. I just love this little Starbucks. I think it's so cute. But inside, I put this little joy ornament that sort of mirrors how I put the cover on. And so this is a little ornament too, made with those snowflakes, only this time I did it in color. And I only used the 3 smaller dies, not the biggest die. And then I used the little charm dies. That word joy comes from the charm die set, and it's this little joy die right here. And this is the MCT D474, the Christmas charm dies. This was last Christmas these were released. And this is a set that I just love. So I use that joy die in the center to make this little joy ornament. And then this is just some wired ribbon from Joann's that I got last year. And I just set that in between. I put a second backer on it, and then I added the Wishing You Snow Much Joy sentiment to the back of this. So isn't that cute? I love these colors together, the red, the teal, and then the aqua. I just think that turned out so cute, and it fits perfectly inside the star box if you just use the 3 smaller sizes of the snowflakes. So isn't that a cute gift? You could give a little ornament, maybe with some cash, to your nieces and nephews. So that's another snowflake idea. And then the belly bands, the snowflake belly bands were so much fun to use. And I think I told you guys they're made really to coordinate with the fancy fold card die, which I love this die set, and it makes beautiful fancy fold cards. And we showed that in our last release, but I wanted to try using them in a different way. So I cut the snowflake belly band out, and you can see it along the top of this mitten die. And that mitten die is from last month's release, the Christmas tag dies. And it's this mitten die right here. It's a 2-piece mitten die. And I wrapped the belly band around, and then where it meets, I took paper buttons from one of the box dies, and I stacked them up and sewed through with the twine and made a little tie. And I created a beautiful tag, and I did cut a white piece also for the backer. And then I used this wood paper from the paper pads that I already showed you. And I layered up 2 of the snowflakes as well as the tiny little bow from the bow die set. So isn't that cute? And you can definitely zhuzh this up so that it has some dimension. You can definitely make your snowflake stand up more if you want. And I just think that looks so cute on these mittens. And isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh, I think these turned out so cute. Might be one of my favorite projects from this release, these little mitten tags. And on the ends of these, I used Emma's Prim Heart dies, and I added the Warm and Fuzzy Hugs sentiments to the tags. So each of these has a little tag on it that says Warm and Fuzzy Hugs. And for those of you that aren't familiar with that die set, I think I brought it back to show you. Yeah. So if you need tiny tags, you can use this assorted mini tag dies for the hearts or the various sizes in here, or the Prim Hearts and Alpha stamps. There's a little alphabet stamp set in here, but these make great tags. And I think I used this one right here to create my tags. So these just turned out so, so cute. Aren't they adorable? Oh my goodness. I just thought these were so fun. So I want to make more of these before Christmas. My sister fell in love with these and she wanted to take them today when she was over. So these are so, so cute. So those are the little mitten tags. And then I did this beautiful card, and this uses the word joy from this die set again. So this word joy comes in the Christmas tag die set, and this is where those mittens were, the stocking and the tree. This was last released, and so I took that joy, made this the focal point for the sentiment on the card, and then I took the snowflake dies again, and I just made a centerpiece. So I cut out the backer from the largest snowflake from the gingham paper, and then I laid a red snowflake in, and then I layered all my snowflakes up to create the focal point, okay? And this just makes such a sweet card. I love how this turned out. I added a strip of the beautiful snowflake papers from the release this month, and then I added that red snowflake paper to the back of the card. So, so cute. And then the last thing I have to share with you today are these 2 little cards. And these are the 4-inch circle card die with that beautiful new snowflake doily as the focal point on the circle. So I made a circle card. Actually, no, I didn't use the 4-inch circle card die. I actually used the backer piece that comes with this die to make my card. So this is actually the backer, and you just layer it up slightly below the cut line to create your card. So I made a card layer, and then I used the scallop layer to add a layer to the back of the card. And inside, I just added warm wishes and frosty kisses. And then you can see all the cute ephemera combined. This is that little hot cocoa cup, the little owl, the bird, a present. I added the word joy by cutting off the eyelet from the charm. And I love the beautiful detail of the snowflakes of that largest snowflake doily die. Isn't it precious? It's so beautiful on here. And then I did a similar scene here, but I used a different sentiment. This one says, thinking of you this holiday season. And this one has the snowman with the little gingham scarf and the little candy cane. And then this one where the child snowman is holding the little reindeer stuffy. So I just thought that's so cute. It has the tree in the background, that beautiful red paper from the paper pad last month. And then I just, again, used a scallop circle in the back. But you could also add a piece of ephemera to the back. I just haven't done that yet. But I love these little sentiments from the sentiment set. They work perfect on all of these cards and projects. And these little sentiments just set everything off so well. So these are all of my projects for today's sneak peek day for the 156th edition release at My Creative Time. I will be back tomorrow with even more projects to share with you. I couldn't fit them all in today, so I'm going to do another video tomorrow to share even more things. I love these little bow dies. I think they're so much fun. This is the middle size one of the trio right here, and you can compare the size of the middle size one to the small size. So look at the difference there. So those are 2 different size bows. Aren't they sweet though on projects? I love these little tags. I don't know if I showed these to you guys actually now that I'm thinking about it, but I embossed the heart embossing folder, the Prim Heart embossing folder in the background of these. These are the gingerbread tag dies. Now these were released a couple years ago, but it's one of my favorite die sets in Emma's shop. It's MCT D426, the wavy and regular tag dies, as well as the scallop tag dies, which make the backers. So I cut the backers out of this brown snowflake paper. I used craft cardstock and white cardstock to do the gingerbread layer. And then I cut a little snow piece for each one of these. And then these adorable deer facing both directions make up the little focal points of these tags. This is Blitzen, this is Dancer. It says Hello Winter on this one, Winter Wishes. And then on Rudolph, it says Winter Wishes again. And again, this is that, if you can compare, this is the medium of the trio bow die, and this is the small. So those are my little Rudolph and Blitzen and Dancer tags. And I love how these turned out also. But I just had so much fun with this entire collection. I hope you enjoyed my sneak peeks and that you will come back to my channel tomorrow to see my release day projects. And again, use my code Jill at checkout, Jill, to save 15% during the sale, which runs Thursday at 8 a.m. through Friday at midnight, okay? And after that, our codes revert back down to the normal everyday 10% discount at My Creative Time. I am just having so much fun with this entire release. I hope you guys are too. I love these rustic snowflake ornaments, and then this cute gingerbread paper and the little box that I created with the bow, and it says Happy Christmas from our family to yours. So many fun bows, so many fun snowflakes and projects for you guys all to enjoy. I can't wait to go around to Emma's incredible design team and see what everybody has been creating. Again, I will try and put links to everybody in the drop-down menu as I'm able. And I thank you so much for joining me today. Happy sneak peek day from My Creative Time for the 156th edition release. Bye now.